At Thanksgiving, I sat quietly in the corner of the room, holding my son in my arms, the only person in that house who loved me unconditionally, while my family surrounded the table I had paid for with laughter that didn't include me, not even a glance of warmth or welcome, as if I were an invisible ghost in a room full of strangers who shared my blood but none of my love, and the turkey they carved with pride, the wine they sipped with fake smiles, the marble floors beneath their designer heels, all of it, every last detail, was funded by me, the same disgraceful single mom they constantly whispered about when they thought I wasn't listening, the woman they rolled their eyes at, mocked behind closed doors, and insulted in the open as if I was too weak to fight back. But they had no idea that while they were living off what they thought was some family inheritance or dad's smart investments, the truth was far more ironic. I was the one silently building the $94 million empire they were leeching from, funding their lifestyles, covering their loans, paying their bills, even buying the mansion they now claimed as their own, and I never told them because I was never in it for the praise or recognition. I just wanted to keep my family together, to feel like I mattered, to earn their love through sacrifice. But that was my biggest mistake, because love that must be earned isn't love. It's manipulation dressed in tradition, and as I sat there watching my son quietly eat the sandwich I packed him in case we were forgotten again, I heard my father's voice, hard, loud, echoing through the tension-filled air, say those final words, "You're a disgrace. Get out of my house." And just like that, I felt something inside me snap, not out of anger, but from years of swallowing my voice, my dignity, my truth just to belong to people who never saw me, and I stood up, my son clutched tightly in my arms, and whispered back one word, "All right." Not with defeat, but with finality, with clarity, with the kind of quiet power that comes when you've outgrown the people trying to keep you small. And I walked out into the cold night, no one stopping me, not even my mother, and as the door slammed behind me, I didn't feel broken. I felt reborn, because for the first time, I realized I didn't lose a family that night. I finally let go of people who never truly loved me, and as I sat in my car, hands trembling but soul steady, I pulled out my phone and canceled everything, their credit cards, mortgage payments, utility accounts, all of it because they were never grateful, never curious, never once asked how the money kept flowing. And that night, I booked a flight to my private beach house in Honolulu, the one they never knew I owned, where I finally breathed for the first time in years, and my son, he looked at me as the waves lapped at our feet and said, "Is this our new home?" And I just smiled, kissed his forehead, and whispered, "This is our peace." And from that moment on, I decided I would never shrink myself for love again, never trade my truth for someone else's comfort, never be the background character in my own story just to keep toxic people close. I started mentoring women, building schools in my name, launching global programs that help single mothers rise from pain to power, and I never looked back, not even once, because they didn't deserve a seat at my table if they couldn't even offer me a chair at theirs. And years later, when they found out, through the news, through viral interviews, through my Forbes profile, who I truly was and what I'd built, I didn't feel satisfaction. I felt serenity, because by then, I had already healed, and their apologies couldn't undo the silence they gave me when I needed their voice the most. And if you're watching this right now, and you've ever been cast aside by the very people you bent over backwards to protect, if you've ever been told you're not enough while secretly holding the entire family together with invisible thread, then listen to me. You are not the problem. You are the foundation, and sometimes the greatest betrayal is the one that finally sets you free. And if no one ever told you this before, let me be the first. You are not meant to stay where love has to be begged for, explained, or earned by suffering. You are not selfish for walking away from those who only accept a version of you that makes them feel superior, and your story doesn't end with rejection. It begins when you realize your worth isn't upward bait, and to the daughter, the son, the sibling, the partner, the human being watching this who's been mistreated by their own blood, I see you, I hear you, and I want you to comment right now. I choose peace over pain, because that choice alone changes everything. And if you felt this story deep in your chest, if it made you cry, smile, or breathe a little easier, then please, don't just watch and walk away. Subscribe to this channel right now, because here, we speak what others are afraid to say. We break generational chains. And we remind people like you that their power is real. Their pain is valid, and their future is bigger than anyone ever told them it could be. So hit that subscribe button, like this video, share it with someone who's silently suffering, and tell them they're not alone, because your healing, your truth, your comeback starts today. Not when they apologize, but when you stop needing it. And remember, you didn't lose your family.